Engineering is a matter of trade-off because you have to design a perfect product that will perform very well.
Hi, I'm Alice, and today I'm joined by Mathieu at Parker Hannifin, France. In this episode, we're going to be talking all things moving from production to building at scale when it comes to data center liquid cooling solutions. So, a prototype performs well, and then scaling up's the hard part. Where do teams sometimes over-optimize when it comes to this?
So engineering is a matter of trade-off because you have to design a perfect product that will perform very well, but at the same time you have to produce this product at a million PC scale and with a high quality level. So if you fail to engage early the production teams to this product development, you can fail to launch your product. Prototypes proves physics, where production proves discipline.
When our liquid cooling solutions move from that prototype to scalable stage, what are the key considerations we should be thinking about?
So for me, following the new product introduction process is the best way to make sure that you will comply with the specification, also quality targets and the lead time. That's a 5-stage process that starts with what we call the scoping phase. During that phase, you build the product specification based on the application requirements, and you start the ideation phase. Then you have the engineering validation phase, where you start to evaluate all the engineering aspects of the product, and you start also something which is critical. It's what we call the design for manufacturing and design for assembly review. That step is really critical, and that's early stage. Then you have the design validation phase. During that phase, you start to engage with, let's say, a real product testing. So those are kind of prototypes, but you start the test, the validation test. So you start also to have long tests, also high performance tests and so on. And you also make sure that you are compliant with everything that is inside the DFMEA. Then you have what we call the production validation. So then you have more advanced products and you are ready to product with your mass production tool. So then you do the production qualification. So you use trials from this mass production line and you make sure that those are compliant again with the specification. When you have fulfill and let's say tick all the boxes, then you can launch the product. And of course, you have to launch the product, but monitor everything and the operation behind. For me, following and tracking all those deliverables of all those stages are the key for a successful product launch.
Are there any red flags that tell you that you won't be able to manufacture at volume?
The lack of team collaboration early stage. Again, for me, that's critical. And let's say every team has to be involved very early in the process. So design teams, engineering, quality teams, everyone on the project. The second for me would be the unclear specification. If you have unclear specification, you'll not be able to validate properly your product. So that's why the communication, early communication with CSP is critical. You have really to understand the application and what's behind and what are the limits of the application. The third red flag for me is the lack of long-term validation. So if you skip this, you could have problem then to scale up. The last one is skipping the design for manufacturing and design for assembly review early in the process.
For anyone looking to ramp up applications, what are the key things that we should be talking to our suppliers about before we do this?
For me, there is 3 things that are critical. First one is the supply chain. You have to ask what's your capacity and ramp-up plan. That's the critical aspects when you want to produce million PCs for data center application. And you have to make sure as well that you have second source. That's something critical. The second point is the product validation. Again, the product validation should be very robust. So of course, assessing the high performance testing, the burst pressure, and the leak test, but you have to assess as well the edging performance. So that's critical. And the third one is, of course, quality and operation. So make sure that you have the right quality controls in place. What's the control you have in production? Let's say the 100% control. Do you use SPC in productions and so on? So those are for me the three critical elements to consider.
Perfect. Thank you so much. From densifying down to scaling up, thanks for watching this series of Insight to Impact. We'll be back soon with more conversations on what technology and solutions are shaping the modern industry. See you next time.